Hey guys, welcome to my informative video on resin. Well, at least I hope it's informative. I'm a beginner and I didn't really know where to look or how to really get this started, so I just hit up some YouTube videos. I found a lot of good and bad information in the videos that I watched, and in this video I'm going to just try to put together all of the good information. Any of the videos that I did grab some of my information from will be linked in the description below, so make sure you check them out either before or after this video so you can kind of see where I got my information from. So, my goal was, still is, to create a few jewels for a cosplay that I'm going to be doing hopefully next year. I've seen resin before at Hobby Lobby, and I just figured that all I gotta do is buy the stuff, pour it, and I'm good to go. Well, it's actually not that easy. In videos I've seen, most people have said that this is the resin or the epoxy that they use because they like it, or it was the only one available and they've learned to use it. The most talked about ones that I've seen is EasyCast and Envirotex, but those are 2 of 4. So I'm going to talk about all 4. So out of the 4 types of resin, 3 of them are pretty much the same. One of the 3 has a secondary purpose, but you have Amazing Clear Cast, which is a 2-part clear coat and resin, and when I say 2-part, it means that you have an A bottle and a B bottle, and you mix equal amounts of A and B to pour it into a mold or to coat something in order for it to work properly. Same goes for Easy Cast Epoxy, which is made by Casting Craft, and Envirotex. So all of them are pretty much the same. The thing about those 3 is that you want to use them for small to medium-sized projects. Amazing Clearcast does say you can use it for bigger pours, but they don't recommend it. If you are going to use it for bigger pours, you're going to have to pour it in layers, they said, and you have to wait, not the cure time, but the recommended amount of time between pours, and then you also have to wait the cure time and all that extra stuff. So if you're going to do a big project, you don't want to use any of those 3. What you're going to want to use is clear polyester casting resin, which is made by Casting Craft. Now, what they don't tell you about this, unless you read the instructions very well, is that you do need a second part, which is a hardener for this resin to work. So, with that being said, I've got about 7 general tips of using resin that may make your first try a better try, if that makes sense. So, molds are your friend. The best molds to use are silicone molds with shiny insides. The resin doesn't stick to the silicone, and the shiny inside makes sure that your resin comes out shiny. If you do have to resort to making your own molds, molding clay from Walmart and mold builder from Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby will work if you want to go the easy route. If you want to spend a little bit more money or time, you can buy the casting silicone and the hardener. I just recently found Michael sells an easy mold silicone putty, and that's what I'm going to try to make mine. Yeah, so that's it for molds are your friend. Then dyeing your resin. I have seen people use paint, pen ink, and the YouTuber that I'm actually subscribed to uses Sharpie marker. If you want to use that, that's fine, but it's not recommended. Just putting that out there, it is not recommended. I'm going to try to save my money and actually buy the resin dye. You can find it on Amazon. I think it's like $8, between $8 and $11 a bottle, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for opaque, which is a dark color, or transparent, which is just like tinting, depends on the price. One thing that is specifically stated is not to use acrylic paint. So if I was gonna, use some unconventional dyeing, I would not use acrylic paint because it does specifically say no acrylic paint. Saving money is always good, but just be careful. You don't want to totally screw up your resin. Matte finishes. If you don't use a shiny silicone mold, you do have options in still getting your piece to come out shiny. Unless matte's what you're looking for, then you have nothing to worry about. But if you do want to get your piece shiny, you can either pour some extra resin on top of it, make sure it's propped up well, pour a thin layer on top of it, let it drip down the sides, checking it constantly to make sure that it's not building up and it's actually dripping off, and then letting it cure. There also is a spray that they sell. I didn't pull up too much information on it, sorry about that, but I will put a link in the description. It says that it makes things shiny and it seals the resin, so that's something you can try. I'm not 100% positive, but you could maybe even try like the clear coat spray paint that they make. That could possibly work for you as well, considering that resin is just plastic anyway. But yeah, so you can try that. Another thing is make sure that when you're using this product, you are in a well-ventilated area. Don't be continuously exposed to fumes, not flames. Don't be exposed to those either, but don't be exposed to fumes. Make sure you're not using it around young children, animals, stuff like that. Make sure you clear your workspace. You can never be too careful. If you want to use gloves and a mask, that's great too, but make sure that you keep the area well ventilated. Another problem that seems to arise when you're using resin is bubbles. You can tap the molds lightly to raise bubbles. Pretty much everybody in all the videos that I watched recommended that one. I also did find that if you use alcohol in a spray bottle and lightly spritz a little bit on the top, it will also help to release bubbles. So you're welcome to try that as well. I think that's going to be the option that I try, since I already have a spray bottle somewhere around this house. Another thing, do not touch your resin molds or your resin in the mold. Let it cure completely, whether it's 48 hours, 24 hours, whatever the directions say, let it cure so you can get the best possible result. Don't move it around, don't transfer it from surface to surface, don't mess with it. And just make sure that it is on a stable surface so it can cure evenly, and keep it away from extreme temperature, sun, or light, because those can not only discolor your resin, but it can also prevent it from curing properly. So, now that I've stumbled over my words several hundred times during this video, or maybe just 10 or 15, that is all that I have. These are all really good things to know before you start doing resin, so you don't have to learn the hard way. So hopefully this was helpful to someone. And like I said, check out the links in the description so you can see other people's videos.